Hello. All right, hello traders. How is everybody doing? Oh, I need to make this window a little bit wider. Squeeze it out. That's better. All right, welcome everybody. Everyone say hello in the chat. And yeah, let's get into some price action and things. It's been a few days again since I've streamed. It keeps like I keep trying to do all these like public updates and things. But yeah, doing a lot of planning for the ExoChart series. Crew is always keeping everyone busy with the trading rooms and everything. But yeah, I will keep trying to do more of these public streams because they are good fun. Cool. How's everyone doing? If everyone can smash up the likes as usual, that will be great. And yeah, let's get into the move. So Bitcoin's had a pretty nice move up. Let's zoom in on. Here we go. Now I see some comments starting to come through. Such a big delay on YouTube. Keshab's here. Testy, Douglas, Delirium. Hello, hello, hello. Also, apologies if anything is laggy on this stream. My internet's been down for pretty much the whole afternoon. And it seems incredibly quiet in here, so I don't know if this is working okay. All right, I'll just talk. If people can't hear me or anything, then let me know, because I'm generally there seems to be a much bigger delay than usual on this. It's saying my current bitrate is 0. See, I'm saying I don't know how to pronounce your name, man. It's Testy sounds like test test. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. My current stream bitrate is 0, lower than the recommended bitrate. I think that's, yeah, 0 definitely isn't good. So if this is super laggy, please do let me know. In which case, I will, yeah, have to rethink that. Yeah. All right, cool. I'm seeing some comments anyway. Yeah, so what should we do today? Let's go over the current Bitcoin price action. I think that's, of course, everyone would like to know what is going on. I mean, we've explained this enough with the crew already. This was up towards this weekly and the daily level that we have on our chart. So very simply, I'm looking at this bigger idea. So this is my current chart. I'm going to move this onto the 4-hour, and at the moment, this kind of just being a consolidation. So if we do bring in the RSI, we've got a nice little RSI trend going on within this. I do think that we are probably set for another move to the upside after this puts in a range. So we'll see how that goes. And then I do like RSI trend lines. They do tend to work really well. And you've had 1, 2, 3 touches on the bottom. It would make sense to put in 3 touches on the top as well, which could see us get a move up towards kind of that weekly open area, and then we start to put in some divergences up at the highs. That's generally what I'm looking for, but I do think we play out a range for the rest of the week before that. So I'm overall, yeah, looking at a small period of consolidation here, as we have come into quite significant resistance. So once again, if we do come onto here, we also have this on the daily chart. So let me just zoom in on this. Let me make these lines visible only on below the daily. In fact, I only want them visible on the 4-hour, but I can't be bothered to do that right now. Let me just, yeah, that'll do. And then what we have is, again, a little bit of a trend following here on the daily RSI. As well. So very similar kind of stuff, yeah. So I do think we could be set for a little bit more upside. However, I'm certainly not getting excited for any kind of breakout at this stage yet. Oh my god, I've ruined all of this already. So now this one needs to be like this. And this one needs to be like this. That's better. Alright. So that is the overall plan. For this consolidation period to end up continuing, and eventually we're either going to be looking at, I think what I would like to see generally is something like this. We come up here, we possibly break out, hit this yearly level, and then break back down, which would just be typical of people thinking, oh, we've broken out of this consolidation. People forget that the yearly level's still there. It acts as big resistance, and we move down. But that's my general thoughts. I am currently in a short position, and here's my alert. So that is where I am aiming for. And of course you can see on my screen, if this is showing up, here is another alert. So I am looking for, at the moment, 2 levels of liquidity just below where we currently are on the on price at the moment. So I am short from around the daily level up here, and we have quite a few opportunities to get in within this little distribution type thing that we have going on. So we can see highs, and we're starting to roll over a little bit here. We're not making these higher highs anymore. So we have changed market structure. We did change market structure here. It then went and took the highs out, and now we're looking at this as a bigger move down. Annoyingly, this was when I had like 0 internet connection, but I was able to get into a short, scale into a short on my phone, and now basically take profit 1, these lows, and aiming down towards here, in which case I would be looking for a deviation towards the low of the range, looking at the single prints, and then reversal. So I would like to see this come into the single prints, which we're on the way. So they are down at 41,150. So if we do, it'll be easier just to show you it on here. On the 30-minute time frame, we have our single prints coming in. That should, close enough. So that 41,150 region, just around here is where we do have our single prints, where they start. So this area is where I would then be looking for longs as a deviation of this range, and then we have a range to trade. So that is what I would be looking at after we do find a low. So we'd be having something along the lines of this low up to your first high. I mean, you could extend it up to here. Let's just take that one for now. Let's just have a look at that as a little range. Midpoint's kind of nice, right? It works for this. So I'm going to stick with that as the little range for now, and be looking for longs below, shorts above. I'm not expecting a move down to retrace all of this at this stage. I do think it would be very unlikely that you just come down and go vroom all the way down there. However, that is another possible scenario. As we've seen recently, it's like straight line down, straight line up. So if we do come into this region, you're either looking at a quick SFP reclaim back into the midpoint, back into this kind of region, or it will go boom and do something like that. So yeah, that is the current plan. So we can go over a little bit of the price action that we have had so far today. So we have had a few trades. We did trade New York session today. Well, the crew traded New York session today. I had 0 internet, so I was unable to. I walked the dogs instead, which is always fun. But where should we start with? Does anyone want to go over any of the price action that we had down at these lows? I think what we had yesterday evening was really interesting, and this has annoyed me. So I was in a long, and I got myself into a really nice long position, and I'm going to explain this. I'm going to put the VWAP onto the chart here. And let's see if I reset chart. Let's come back over here somewhere. Can anyone tell me what we had on the daily open today? So did anyone trade the daily open today successfully? And what kind of setup did we have on the daily open that led to basically this entire huge move up? And this is where the lag comes back. It's such a big lag on here. Delirium, yes, you could tell, but that would ruin the fun. There we go. So yeah, we've got Banzai's got it, Michael, Keshav, yeah, the VWAP strategy. So this is our VWAP open drive that's in the playbook, and this was really, really kind of textbook. Okay, you have a very straightforward, simple. It kind of takes out the highs, takes out the lows, and then what does it do once it's had those two little liquidity grabs from the highs and the lows? You reclaim daily open, you come into your VWAP, that sets you up for the trade, at which point you have an immediate invalidation off of this. There is your invalidation. You have already taken the highs, you've taken the lows, and we then have our daily open / VWAP as our entry, and then you basically ride this all the way up until you lose VWAP. So you could still, this trade ending up as a risk to reward of, now this is where it gets very annoying for me, what you could have got, and probably, so this being a risk to reward of 32R, so 32 to 1 profit, actually even higher. By the time you actually, oh my god, no, it goes higher. Ignore me. You're even higher than that. We're looking at a risk to reward from a daily open strategy, just a textbook strategy of 40 to 1. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, this is the VWAP here, and this is a really like, I think, I'm not sure if it's public, the VWAP open drive strategy, or if it's only for crew. I'm not sure if that's one that I have made public. But that was just a really, really nice example of how you can basically take this trade, and what you're looking for is you only look to close it when you lose VWAP. So at this point, we're still above VWAP. You could still be in this trade looking for higher, and your stop loss is down here, and you're basically just at this point trailing that stop loss from the VWAP, and you can keep that going for an entire day. It's a really, really great trade. The annoying thing for me is I closed it here. So I closed this trade, which is one of those, like, these literally are like, that is kind of, you get one trade like that a month, or you get one trade like that every few weeks, or even like a year, and this can just exponentially just increase your whole account. Like 40R on a trade is insane. You really don't get those kind of opportunities often, and we did get that straight from the daily open, and you could just see this driving and driving and driving and driving. Now, the issue for me is I took this trade when it was midnight. I was already kind of tired. I stayed awake until 2:30 watching the charts. I started to see some absorption. I started to see CVD divergence. I thought this range could continue, and I don't know why, because I usually wouldn't. I usually would have just kept my stop loss, put my stop loss at break even or something, but I closed the trade. So I closed the trade out here. I still don't know why I did that. That's part of trading, and I missed out on all of that. So that could have been like, yeah, massively. I mean, it's only one trade at the end of the day, but that's probably, for me, that's probably like, you could get a week's worth of trades out of that, and then I could just be like, cool, I'm done. I could just chill out for the rest of the week. It would be that kind of thing, and it just, yeah, it's very nice when you get those. But I didn't catch it on this occasion. But that was one of the really nice examples that we do have. So Never mind, I am now in a short position and that is in profit, so you don't get them all and you don't kind of trade everything to its fullest. It's very common that you'll have really nice trades and you'll close them too early. It's a very common thing, but at least it was profit and I wasn't caught on the wrong side of it. That's a good start. But yeah, looking down here and now in a short position and we are looking basically down towards these levels. It would be kind of cool if we do get a tap of VWAP today, because at that point we're maybe going to form some divergences at this low, so it'll be interesting to see if we do come down here, run price into VWAP without taking these lows. I am aware of that as a possible scenario as well. So yeah. Vinny, I did that with Luna this week. Yeah, I mean Luna's been insane. I did that with Luna. I sold some Luna. This was only on spot, but I did sell some Luna at the yearly level. Now we did come back down below the yearly level again, and I was able to get into another trade on that. But again, I have now closed that. I think Luna's pulling back. I think actually Luna finally looks like it could be a good short. We'll take a look at Luna in a second, because we have had some signs that that move may be done now, but I will have a look at that in just a minute. Delirium's never traded it since I'm always asleep. The 5 times I was awake, we didn't get it. Of course, yeah. Sometimes when you do get those trades that just play out so perfectly, they're really nice. I mean, it did happen the day before as well, but it wasn't to as much effect. So again, if I just do go through the day prior to that, and we're looking back at this day here, this also was the same kind of situation, right? And actually may have been stopped out on this, but you'd want to give it a bit of wiggle room. You know what? That's in the first 10 minutes. So you would have had take out the lows, highs, lows, reclaim daily open at this point here. You come into VWAP, that sets you up for a trade with this kind of invalidation. And if you were doing this 2 days ago, you would have got, I mean, it's hard to tell in hindsight what this is, because obviously I don't know how I would have traded that. I don't know how anyone else would have traded that, but you would have got a decent little, I mean, only 3-1 before then closing out of this trade here. So you would have hit a take profit 1 around here, then you get a spike in volume, clear spike in volume. So yeah, 3R on that one, and then stopped on as a first take profit, and then you would close once you lose that VWAP, in which case you come back down to your entry. And fair enough, you could have actually still been in this trade if you just kept your invalidation the same. So even 2 days ago, if you traded the VWAP open drive and you'd kept that there, you were never stopped out of that because your invalidation is down here. So that, which was a 40R, I mean, it is very unlikely anyone would have traded it in this way, but you could. There's no reason why you couldn't trade it in that way. Then you basically get another really nice, yeah, trade off of that as well. But in a jar, how would you have known to stay in that big trade though? So that's the thing. This is part of the playbook. Okay, so I don't, or I say not to. In this case, I did close the trade early. I did close the trade too early, which is very annoying. But the strategy I use, and the strategy that is what is part of the playbook, which is part of what we teach in the crew, part of the strategy that I kind of say that everyone, non-financial advice, should trade, is don't close unless you lose the VWAP. So yeah, you could very well still be in that trade. Don't close unless you lose the VWAP, and then take profits on volume spikes. So you would have had take profit, by which point you probably don't have much of that trade left, and you could maybe just be holding the rest and trading stops now, and possibly compound when you get another opportunity. So yeah. But that's it. You get these overnight trades, and you can't catch them all, can you? Uh, Keshav, hey, can I ask when I'm gonna get Luke's EXO subscription giveaway that he did on the Twitch stream? I don't know what you did. So I'm assuming Luxury mentioned this because it was Luxury that did the Twitch stream, right? Um, so we do have EXO subscriptions to give away. I will explain how they will happen. We will probably actually give some away on Friday. So yeah, we will give some away on Friday. I'm around on Friday. We'll figure out how we do that. Well, why the title says 50k. I couldn't think of anything better to say. I mean, we might go to 50k. I just picked a random number out. Maybe 46,200 is the more accurate one. It's maybe clickbait. I don't know. Not that. Yeah. Oh, so are we going to take out some of these lows, or are we going to keep on just missing these? What we keep doing is forming really high negative delta on the lows and potential trap traders down here, and we've got shorts opening, so it's like we're never really getting to those lower targets today. So this is why we're bouncing again. You've got the shorts that are opening, and you're kind of squeezing up again here. Just a little bit. We don't have bullish CVD on this. Let's turn these rec bubbles off. They're a bit annoying. Daddy Turtle, am I using the DOM a lot? And then you retract your thing. I am, yeah. I've again, that's something that we are going to cover. So I do use the DOM. It's on another screen, or it's on another layout that I have. So I do use a different. These menus don't actually show when you're screen sharing. CVD divergence at the top. Let's have a look at that as well. Yeah, I've got this on the 30-minute. I mean, unlikely because I don't know. You had CVD weakness at the top. This is just on a 30-minute chart. I mean, other time frames may have shown you something different. So, of course, you make that higher high very briefly. There's your line. Okay, so we made that higher high. CVD failed to get that continuation. So that's showing a little bit of weakness there from the buyers. And then, of course, that is when we do get that bigger pullback afterwards. And then a lot of selling starting to come in after that point. So you kind of had some CVD divergence up at those highs, yeah. What's the minimum time frame you see for a valid CVD divergence? So I honestly like I often use Agra. So I'm often looking for these really local divergences, which are literally 10-second chart. Um, they're quite nice. They do play out quite nicely sometimes. So we can see if you're just looking for like an entry within a move. I will often look at this like basically you're just looking at the tick and you're looking for the CVD divergences on the low time frames, like really low time frames, and then they start to roll over onto the higher ones. So then I like the 1 minute, I like the 5 minute, I like the 15 minute. By that point you're getting into 30 minute, 4 hour kind of stuff. I tend to not pay attention to higher time frames. Like CVD, I like it locally. I don't like higher time frame CVD. I don't think it's useful at all. So what I'm often looking for, is there an example of it down here? I mean, yeah. So look, so on just from this, you can see, and this is on perps. So you have your basically, we can take this into almost like we'll use like Wyckoff terminology for this. You kind of have your selling climax at this point. So this is where you get the liquidations down at these lows. So this was only like half an hour ago, basically. At yeah, so you have these your selling climax down at these lows, which you get your liquidations. You have big negative delta going down into that. You have your initial reaction. You come back down and you take out those lows, at which point less liquidations, less negative delta. So this is less selling pressure, less aggressive selling on the move down, and at that point that's when you can look for a bigger bounce. But I mean, I'm still looking for more downside, so it's only really it's not particularly useful when I'm not looking to enter a trade in the first place anyway. I mean, you could have got like a 0.1% move or something off of this. I don't even know how much this is. How much is that? You could have got a 0.3% move off of some local CVD divergence. I mean, you've probably got like 1 minute RSI divergence here as well. There you go. Okay, so you do have the RSI divergence coming in. There it is. There's your downtrend. There's your RSI divergence. It gives you a small trade, but with that you're having to get in and out at limit, and that is, and even getting in and out at limit with new fee structures may not be enough for a little trade like that. So not something I'd look to trade, although it was there. That was an example of divergences at the lows, which gives you a little bit of the bounce. But still looking for these lows to be taken. That is why I do have my alert down here for now. Johnny M. Cool, can't figure out why my Agra stopped giving me FTX and Bybit trades. Anyone got an idea other than refreshing? Let me check mine. I don't tend to really look at the actual tape of the trades coming in. I've got FTX. What's this one? OKX. Durbit. BitMEX. I'm not seeing any Bybit on this. But then I don't know if there have been any big trades on Bybit. Have we had any big trades on Bybit? We have, so some of these should be showing. Yeah, maybe Bybit aren't reporting to Agra. What's this button? I don't know. Yeah, not sure. Ah. Uh, Keshav, I will take a look at Luna in a second. I don't trade the RSI. I do look at it for confluence. So that's why I'm saying, like, with these 4 hour things, I do the RSI. There's nothing wrong with the RSI at all. You just got to know how to use it. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the RSI, and in fact, I I always like um I hate. Well, I don't hate. I don't like trend lines on price action, but trend lines on RSI is actually very useful, and they can really help give you confluence with trades. So if you do have like a structure that forms like this on the RSI, it is actually quite useful. Um, I have absolutely no issues with the RSI at all. It is a lagging indicator. It's nothing that you can actually trade from, but to get confluence and to build ideas off of. So as price was coming down into these lows, you know that, okay, if price action tells me that it's kind of looking okay, then I should be looking for longs. And you get those kind of things. Again, if the RSI was to come up to here, it would basically just tell me, okay, let's start searching for some short positions here, because it's just yeah, it's just a bit of confluence for that. And again, it kind of worked, right? You had divergences at the lows on the RSI, on the MACD, on those oscillators that aren't generally that useful. Even on stuff like Market Cipher or whatever, it was probably there, and they play out. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just to actually execute a trade and get into a trade. I'm looking at the levels themselves. I'm looking at the horizontals. I'm looking at where the liquidity is, and I'm looking for those lower time frames and the leading indicators, not indicators, but the leading kind of analysis that you can do in order to actually execute a trade. And then everything else kind of plays out from there. Yoga with macro, new fee structure. Yeah, so next week, Bybit have their new fee structure, which means you're no longer getting a rebate on limit orders. So whereas I used to love doing limit orders, I used to just limit in, limit out, small little moves, and you could make profit off of like basically no move at all. Can't do that anymore. Slightly annoying. So I think it is like if you're trading a high enough amount, um, and it's okay for some of us. But if you are trading a high amount, like limit orders are free, so you're not actually being charged on them. But I did like the rebate. I really did like the rebate. But the exchange is big enough now that it doesn't need to be paying anyone anything, because they've got plenty of custom already. Uh, so yeah. Judge, did you check FTX that they are dumping on everyone on these highs? Yeah, I'll have a look. So I've got them open on here. I swear, like, Exo Desktop, as amazing as it is, like, I'm having to go through so much stuff. I've like been showing people so much stuff on here that it's like, oh my god, uh there's so many things to look at these days. It is insane. Um, Exo dumping on us. Yeah, they kind of have, haven't they? But I mean, no, not really. I mean, they've been what what FTX have been doing. So is this what people was what you're saying? Oh, Jason Casper's in the house. I might have a good UK accent, but I've never heard of a pound. Welcome, Jay. Welcome. We're doing a New York session tomorrow, aren't we? I think. I need to remember my schedule. But yes, I do believe Jason and I have another stream coming up this week. if all is still good with us, with him, with me, I'm free tomorrow, and I think I've arranged it for tomorrow. Where was I anyway? Yeah, sorry. Open interest is going down. CVD going down, but not as far again as it was back over here. So I think this is mainly just a case of long positions closing on FTX rather than FTX dumping on us. We're not really seeing them chasing the price down at all. We're not seeing them chasing the ask. Um, in fact, like the only real interest that there is in this right now is back up at these highs. They did put up that little bit of a sell wall, but the books are very, very thin across the board at the moment, which is why we are looking at a range before we do get any kind of big movements. So I do think we will continue this range. Uh, yeah, I'm not looking down here yet. Okay. Yeah, books are thin. FTX spot. I will check out FTX spot. Huh? Locked? I don't know if FTX spot have been dumping on us because I can't see it. Oh no, my internet's going again. Can people give me a health check? I've had an error on my stream again here. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain streaming. Viewers will experience buffering. My internet's going weird again. Fun. Yeah, hopefully this isn't too bad for everyone. I'm okay. Okay, cool. I will continue. It's just, yeah, I like was doing the trading room yesterday and completely lost connection. So I was like in the middle of talking and I was talking about Ethereum and stuff, and then I was just like, oh wait, I'm no longer talking to anyone. It's all disappeared. The heat map is trading light. This is trading light. So this is, if anyone would like to check out the heat map, this here is the website. That's how I'm looking at the heat map on here. And this is all obviously within ExoCharts now. But that's just, yeah, you can load up Trading Light, AquaTrade, all of those kind of things within here. I did see Johnny. Yes, it was Johnny. So yes, we do have a poor high on the day. Um, again, I do think so that does give us the potential. Yeah, we could come and take out the high. I think it's probably too late. I think this day is gonna keep that, and maybe we do come back and get this another time. What I'd really like to see. I mean, this is kind of perfect. I can't draw. Let me just draw in here. Ideally for me, I mean, maybe we get a little bounce up to um, up here somewhere. Then I would like to see a move down. Oh, I can't go any further than where this is. Um, oh, I've killed my chart. I shouldn't be showing. I shouldn't be showing all these bugs on a live stream, should I? No, no, it's not going to work. Let's delete those. At least you can go and do that. Okay. Yeah, I still think a range and then maybe looking for a higher to clean up those highs afterwards. For me, would be preferable. There's really nothing in the books, though, is there? We could just keep floating up. I just want a nice trade. I want to take profit again on my short. Meh. Pull high only on USD, not USDT. Let's have a look at the high on USDT. See, I'm using 100 tick. I don't know how you wouldn't have it, because you basically made that double top. Let me open this. Yeah, you do. Okay, so it did come a little bit higher, and you do have a selling tail there. But I mean, it's still low volume, right? That's not particularly significant volume, and you have to really zoom into the profile to be able to get a selling tail from that. Like for today, I'm literally using 100 tick. That's how you get the profile. You want to keep things contained within a reasonable amount, so you're not having to zoom in too much. Gerard, yes, come on, people. Let's hit that like button a bit more. Let's get this back up to 50 likes. And we'll continue going for a little bit longer on this. I am going to look at Luna because I've been talking about Bitcoin for such a long time. I am going to look at Luna and I'm going to look at Ethereum because Ethereum has just back tested the monthly. So this could be a little reason why we're getting a slight bit of a bounce on Bitcoin because, first of all, before I do go there, there is Ethereum. Okay, and this is what I wanted Bitcoin to do, which was to put in the highs, to come down into this region, find some support, the monthly level being the main level here on Ethereum. And there we go, we have had one bounce and a second bounce here. And I would imagine, once again, forming divergences down at these lows. So this is kind of significant. And although I'm not expecting like massive moves, this would suggest that we could get some more off the board. ETH BTC. So we are aware ETH BTC, of course, did have that big breakdown from this trend line. Again, I don't like trend lines because what can you do? You can redraw it to make it fit your own bias. And if you do connect wick to wick down here, oh no, it's buffering again. If you do connect wick to wick down here, I mean, we're still kind of within this trend. So ETH has this, and if we do zoom in on here, I would imagine, do we kind of ish have 4-hour divergence? We definitely do have daily bullish divergence here on the BTC pair. And I would be looking for a bounce on Ethereum. So this is why I want to see Bitcoin putting in a range. And I do think we could see a move higher on Ethereum. So before I get into Luna, so I did say I was going to do Luna. I do think Ethereum could be set for a bit more of a higher probability long than Bitcoin at this stage. And I am looking up towards this daily level up here, which again is exactly where Bitcoin is right now. So Bitcoin pumped straight in to the golden pocket, okay, from your high to your low. Where did price end up? Golden pocket daily level. Daily level from the 3rd of March. Ethereum, daily level from the 3rd of March. Golden pocket, not quite there. So often you do see whatever Bitcoin does, a lot of the alts will mimic. And because we do have that same kind of thing, Ethereum not quite there. I do think we could see another move higher because we have had that breakthrough. So you can see resistance. You break through it, flips into support. Could we see another move higher, at which point we would start to maybe form those divergences at the highs, and then we can look to trade it back down. Obviously, this is clearly not a daily open. I do not know why. Oh, that is a daily open. It is a daily open. I'm talking absolute crap. It is a daily open. So that's Ethereum. I do think we could potentially see some more upside on that. I do kind of like what I'm seeing. But for that, we need to have Bitcoin put in a bit of a range, and we do need to see a bit of this volume coming into ETH. It's a very easy invalidation because at this point, I'd say the monthly level being quite key. We could maybe see a move down towards that 2650 region. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking at on ETH right now. Let's go low time frames. Let's say hypothetically we're gonna do something a little bit like this. I like where I like where the BTC pair is, and I am looking higher for this, but yeah. Oh man, internet or like the third time in. Luna before it all crashes, and hopefully I have some internet for tomorrow. Yeah, no internet. Sorry guys. This is still moving my end, but mountain climber, I need a beer. I'm just fed up. I've had no internet all day. It keeps buffering my end. Delirium. No, I live in London. It's just planned maintenance. They told us that it was going to be out off today. They said it should have been fixed by 7 p.m. But I can log in. I mean, it's Virgin Media. They're crap. So, is what it is. Yeah, it's still saying ongoing improvement works or whatever in my area. So, yeah. Okay, anyway, I did promise that I would look at Luna, so hopefully this does continue for long enough. It's very, very simple. What do we have on? This is swing fairly pattern of the highs. Said in a super high voice. So 1 hour time frame. We came up here, we took the highs, and we're looking at this as like a really high time frame trend. One attempt to break through, second attempt to break through, failed, and now pulling back. But we have come straight into this little order block support down here. So let me make sure this trend line shows on everything else. Minutes, there we go. 30 minutes as well. So you can see actually even on the 30-minute time frame. So this would have been on the TPO. So very, very clear. Okay, you can see that as an SFP. Short on Luna, and at this stage, scalp kind of day trade type thing is what I'd be looking for. But you do have 30-minute order block down here. So this region right here is your support. And where is it finding support? There it is. And you can extend that across. Where was your resistance? So price comes in, into resistance, 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 break, hits, takes the liquidity. So at this point, you're looking at internal levels because I mean you took out this high, but still kind of internal for the whole move. So that is why you did see that little bit of resistance locally, but you continue to work away on that. Let's go back onto the 30-minute time frame. You break through, nice increase in volume. As that breakthrough, in fact, not really showing on here, but there was a bit of an increase in volume on this. You come up, take the liquidity up at these highs, and then pull back, and it is, surprise, surprise, finding support down on these lows. So I will just have a look on the TPO and the order flow on Luna, because it's actually a really nice altcoin to trade, like almost as good as Bitcoin, in my opinion. It's certainly better than Ethereum right now. It's so nice to trade, so nice. And the support levels are really clear, right? I mean, come down here, you basically have liquidity down here. So again, you can just set an alert. And if we're looking at Bitcoin breaking down, so this is if Bitcoin breaks down at this stage, and we do start to put in a range on Bitcoin. So if this doesn't hold and maybe gets a rejection up here, comes down, takes these lows, I would be looking for that reversion kind of back up towards this level and back up to your midpoint, your golden pocket, those kind of things. Then lower down, I mean, very clear support levels lower. And then if we're looking at resistance to the upside, so if this does continue, because it has just found the closest support possible, basically, you've really got to start doing your fibs as like a blue sky breakout, right? It's kind of bullish. So you may just reject on first attempt, keep kind of hitting this area. Oh man, the confluence is so good for the yearly level though. I mean, how nice would it be? You take out this, you put in a range, you make a lower high, and then you come down here, you'll bounce from that order block, and then you basically form a new little range here, take that out, and then you're going to go off to new highs afterwards. So that kind of thing on Luna would be absolutely perfect. And you could almost just draw something like maybe this kind of fractal. So let's go 1 hour time frame. You're looking at something very similar to this, because the levels would kind of match up. Let's take it from around here. This kind of thing. You're looking at something along these lines. Fractal of what happened previously. And then you could, at that stage, if we're looking at a similar kind of structure playing out, which we did have almost previously, then you'd be looking up towards your 1-to-1. So that is a fractal coming down into your golden pocket, into your order block. You've got your POC here as well, remember, so this is going to be initial support. So yeah, ideally, and I think you will need to, I'll have a look on the BTC pair in just a second, but if the BTC pair is starting to look overextended, if we do start to break down here, I do think that this becomes a really very simple pathway to trade. So probably a bounce at this point. You probably will then take out the lows, hit this, come back into your resistance, come back down. What happens then? You're just using simple support and resistance all the way down until you hit this level. At that point, you'll probably get the capitulation, and then you'd be looking for a quick reclaim, and kind of like it did here. So maybe something like this, you change market structure, and then you continue back to the upside. So that type of thing is what I would ideally be looking for on Luna. That POC will obviously become very important. So something along those lines would be really very nice indeed. But that is hopeful, right? You're looking at a 12, 13, 14% move to the downside, which I mean is reasonable. because everyone was super, super bullish about Luna a couple of weeks ago, expecting it to make all-time highs. It pulled back 22%. So there's absolutely no reason to think that it can't pull back about 15% from where it is now. And again, another 20% correction from the highs. And that's just simply continuing this trend. And then where would the target be for that? Is you would be, because that would then end up being almost fractal of what has happened previously. And if you're looking at similar kind of price action, you go A, B, C. Ha! No, you wouldn't do that. That's where we are right now. So we have hit the 1-to-1. And actually that is very interesting. So then you repeat it. So then you would go A, B, if we do come down and make a C around the yearly level, $115 would be your next target. So then you would be looking for this basically to continue up here. You go boom, boom, boom. And you probably take out the highs, change market structure, do something like this, and then you put it back down to here. And that is just a very simple trend. If Luna can do something like this, I mean, it would be absolutely amazing. And we'll just have to see how it gets along. So there is my plan. I'm going to screenshot this, and I'm going to post it into Discord. I'm going to post it on altcoin TA. Crazy Luna idea. And also for public, I will post it in there for these guys too. Crazy Luna idea. There you go. Now that I've said all of that, I need to then. This is at this stage a crazy idea. So actually, let me just hide these so I can refer back to them at a later date. And there is the analysis. And that would be ideal. And I mean, it's worked here. You've hit the 1-to-1. You've taken out the highs. You've had something that basically looked like this, which basically looked like this. And you keep doing the same kind of thing with Luna. That's just how it trades. There is absolutely no reason to think that it can't do something like this right now, but it's still very, very early days. However, we need to then have confluence on the BTC pair, because if that still looks like it's got room to run, then it's probably unlikely that you're going to see something like that. So let's look at the daily. I already know what's going to happen here. This actually looks perfect, and I do think we are probably... Oh, look at that. What do we have? Bearish divergence. What do we have? Bearish divergence. Okay? Be careful on Luna right now. Be careful. I think it could still go a little bit further. But do be careful. What do we have on the 4-hour? Bearish divergence. Okay? This is playing very nicely into the idea of Luna getting a fairly substantial retrace quite soon. Now, I've changed my tune a lot from this, because I was saying do not short Luna when we were finding support earlier, and this was like people were wanting to short it all the way up, short it all the way up, and then it became a distribution at the highs, and then you got the opportunity. At this stage, again, very, very similar. I have been riding Luna this whole way up from this anchored VWAP. So we did have the anchored VWAP, we had the daily level, so this is this daily level that we did cut. That is what it was. There was the position on Luna. Been riding this all the way up, and at this stage I think I'm probably ready to call it a day. Almost. Probably still trailing stops, but definitely, yeah, you want to be taking profit on this, and you really, really do want to be taking profit on this, because it can't just keep going on forever. I mean, it could. I actually could, but it probably won't. Also, let's take a look at the fibs. Can we maybe squeeze a little bit more out of this? So if we do go to our extensions, you got your initial rejection here off of around that 382. So now, I mean, you're probably around that 1.5 here. Yeah, so we've come in like pretty much perfectly to that 1.5. Not huge. I mean, again, if this does start to play out a range, we could see a little bit more, but I do think we're coming to those latter stages on this now. I do think it starts to get a little bit risky. So yeah, be careful with Luna. If you're massively exposed to it right now, it is probably not the best time to be massively exposed to it. You would want to be taking profit. Um, I'm not sure short. I wouldn't short it yet. I do still think maybe you could take the highs, maybe hit that 1.618. This is what happens so often if we do hit the 1.618, which will be here. And also if we're looking at log, oh my god, that's a fair bit higher, okay. Yeah. So yeah, you would be looking at Luna to find some resistance on the BTC pair around 25,740 sats. That would be your 1.618. That would be significant. That is very often the point in which this stuff reverses. It's when you're looking at blue sky breakouts, the 1.618 is huge. So for me, yeah, I think that's probably what I am looking at the moment. If this does continue as an SFP, then I would be looking down towards $85. I think that would be nice support. So $85. Again, I will obviously be placing a thing there. You do also have, if you're looking at this on a daily, you've got that single prints, fair value gap, whatever it is you guys like to call it, depending on how you call these things. Around, yeah, $86, $85. I'm going to place another alert down there. We never came down to this one, so that one is off. Yeah. 1-to-1 is also close to the 1.618. Nice. Also, yeah, let me just pull. Bam, bang. So if we are going to get one more leg higher on this. Look at the confluence. The 1.272. Again, so you've got your 1-to-1, you've got the SFP of the highs, you've got confluence here, you've got so much confluence here. So much already. Then if we do continue, yeah, 112 to $115 is serious. So if there is one more push higher, that becomes serious, and at which point, yeah, you're probably looking at that. You'd again have nice confluence with any pullback. You could extend this all the way up here, and blah, whatever it does. Okay, so I think that's probably enough analysis on Luna by now. But yeah, locally, 30-minute AB is holding it for now. There it is. This is where we're at. We can add on. There's our daily point of control. So we've come back into basically where this POC is on the day. If we do take this just from the range, again, we could be looking a little bit lower, but right now, order block is holding. This is where your resistance was, flipped into support. Could it go higher? Yes, absolutely. Would I also be looking for shorts though? Yes. Yes. Shorts. Especially if you come back like $102 again. Yeah. You got a chance to short this thing. Shorting Luna. Never thought I'd see the day. Especially how the last time I did analysis on Luna, I was like, don't short it. It's going to go higher. And it went so much higher. I had so many people that were like, oh, Luna looks a really good short. Luna looks a really good short. And man, it's the strongest thing in crypto right now. It is the strongest asset. It has been for a long time. And it's just been so dangerous to short that thing. But now, changing my mind slightly. Anyway, back to Bitcoin, and then I am going to wrap this up. So, it does look like we've got some decent confluence here, just very, very locally. So if we do come up into this 5-minute OB, you're going to have your golden pocket there. So there we go. If we do get a bounce, the next point in which I think we could find the resistance needed in order to take this down and take out these lows and then get another bounce for it will be basically 42k. No, yeah, 42,070 dollars. So if we do get a move up to 42,070, I would, once again, that would be a good opportunity for shorts. Maybe. There's your point of control for the range. At this point, the chart is getting a little bit messy, so I'm going to remove that channel. We know we're in the macro golden pocket. If we were to come higher, we've kind of already done that, haven't we? We kind of, from this high to this low, we did come into your 618 here. So I'm going to pull that down to that one because that one's played out. And now we're looking towards this. If I add on VWAP, I am going to post this again for, I mean, I'll post it as public and in crew. You get the idea, okay? What I've marked above is resistance, what I've got below is support. It's easy. BTC, I'm not going to present it without comment. Into trading chat and into Bitcoin TA on the public. That is what I'm looking for. Yeah, on that note, I think I am going to wrap it up. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I did notice that Senti and his... I'm not even going to ask what it is, but Senti and his own little mini voice chat crew we're having a little conversation in voice chat, so I'll probably go and join them. I may ask them what the hell this MMMC thing is. I don't know what they're going on about. But yeah, I am going to I'm going to head off. I'm going to hop into voice chat, chill out for a bit, and I will see you all tomorrow on Jay Casper's stream. I think, are we doing it on Jay Casper? I think I'm doing it on Jay's channel tomorrow. So yes, Jason Casper tomorrow, New York session. I will announce it in the morning, and I will see you all then. Have a great evening.